What the fuck? Did you just chop your arm off?
What's it look like? A fucking prank? I had to get rid of it.
But why?
Because it wasn't just in my head. It was real. Real pain, and I ended it. Like you couldn't. Just fuck off!
Take a look there? Would you like me to address that?
running out of food. Got a minute? We need to talk.
Something wrong with her. I saw it. And I didn't do anything. Wait, what the hell happened to her? What does it look like? She's gone. Molly's gone. What? But why? I mean, no, that's not possible. There was never any problem with her.
I came to see her like I did every day, and she was just lying motionless, cold and stiff.
At least her life had meaning. She will be remembered as the first living organism ever to be created with the use of rubidium.
Now it's just us.
Okay. We're all sad, but I guess we'll have to accept this unexpected loss and, move on. However hard it may be. Accidents like this have been observed. Sudden, unexplained health deterioration, an abrupt allergic reaction.
To what? Artificially grown grass? Are you sure no one gave her anything during the party? To eat? Or drink?
Let's just decide what to do quickly and get back to work. This is taking too much time.
I can tell you how I like to go. With fireworks.
Still, we are talking about corporate property here. I say we put her in the freezer and take her back to Earth. Ally Corp scientists might be interested in her. But it's your call, Jan. You're the captain. What do you think? We need to be rational about this. Cremate her corpse as quickly as possible and get back to our jobs.
No. We can't do that.
What? Why not?
Don't you all remember what they said at training? If any member of the crew dies for an unknown reason, it is the duty of the scientist on board to carry out a post-mortem without delay.
Member of the crew?
She was a live being, and her cause of death is unknown. We should find out what really happened. We owe it to her, and to ourselves.
And it's a mandatory procedure. Let's do it. Let's perform an autopsy and see what we can find out. All right? I won't argue with procedures.
Come see me. I'd like to draw your attention to something. I'm done here. Should I do this now?
You wanted to discuss something? Yes. That moron who amputated his arm for no reason. Can you believe it? At a moment like this, we can't afford to have unproductive crew members on board. Not much we can do about it now. Well, we have to do something. That's why I wanted to talk. I could fit him with a prosthetic arm. That's a great idea. Don't get beside yourself. It's a standard procedure in such cases. Of course, I'd need a little time to tweak the details. Just assign the task to me and I'll know what to do. Have no doubt. If we want to meet our targets, we'll need a minor on top form. You're never gonna believe what I found. Let me guess. A time-distorting anomaly? What? How did you know? Well, considering the presence of this huge gravitational anomaly in this area and Frankov's calculations, I expected you to stumble upon one sooner or later. As you know, differences in gravitational potentials create the effect of time dilation. So, I just connected the dots. You could have done it as well, had you taken the time to stop and think. Ever heard of smartest in the room syndrome? No need to get upset, Jan. Just tell me more about the distortion. Well, when I got inside this thing, it just, slowed me down while all around you time seemed to speed up. Yeah. What a discovery, Jan. This is just getting more and more fascinating. Well, it's pretty hard to get rid of. The closer I get to its core, the more time I lose on the outside. Yes, but you're also approaching the center of its gravity, which means that the core should slow down and be an easier target. Huh. Interesting. I'll think about that. Thanks. Is there a problem?
Yes, Jan, there's definitely a problem. People are fed up with how you're running this mission.
What do you mean, fed up? What is this?
Are you blind? Things gotta change or else.
What exactly do you want me to improve?
That shit you call food? I'm fed up with it.
I hear you. I'll do what I can.
to talk. Any progress with Molly's autopsy?
You wanted to talk about something?
Yeah, our one-armed friend. I've heard the scientist wants to give him a prosthetic arm to make him more productive.
Yeah, and make his life easier.
You seriously concerned about how he feels? Because if you are, then you probably realize he didn't self-harm for no reason, and a prosthetic won't necessarily solve the problem.
What are you saying?
You might want to consider a different solution, more sophisticated and compassionate.
Compassionate?
Yeah, well, I was thinking, Rapidium speeds up organic growth, right? And since you created us, our whole bodies from just a DNA sample, can't you use the same technology to recreate a single limb?
Oh, sure, so that the miner can just cut it off again?
And what if he doesn't? Look, I know he felt that pain before, but what if this time you gave him his arm? One that would feel like a part of him from the very start. Show him that you believe he deserves a second chance.
How can you be sure the pain won't come back?
I can't. But something tells me it won't, because the problem is not really in his arm.
All right, I'm listening.
Poor bastard's insecure as hell. Changing that would be a big deal.
And how would you go about it?
I'm sure the scientist could figure out a way. He's too efficiency-driven to commit to it, but I know you could push him to make the extra effort. What if she died because of something we...
Hey, I wanted to talk to you about the miner's arm again. What's there to talk about? The solution is simple. A prosthetic arm. I was thinking, what if we try to use Rapidium to grow it back? Now, why would we want to do that? To experiment with this fascinating technology? You know what makes me tick. And it is tempting. But the timing, not so good. We're here for a simple reason. Mine as much Rapidium as we can and bring it back to Earth. Everything else has to wait. I get your point. Still, I'm convinced we should go for it. I'm making the decisions, and I'll handle the consequences. You just do your job. You seem to have it all figured out. Fine then, just assign the task to me, and I'll get to work.
I'm done here. Should I do this now? All done. Should I take care of this now?
progress with Molly's autopsy?
Hello, Jan. If we don't get the baseball... Keeping busy, I hope. Hey there, buddy. How do you feel? Been better, that's for sure. What is this place? And shit. Who are you? Disturbing, isn't it? Yeah. Your voice. What's going on? We'll get to that. Just let me ask you some control questions first, okay? Sure. Fire away. Do you remember your name? Yeah. Jan Dolski. And what's your role on this mission? I'm a refinery operator. Oh, you look like me, but also not like me. Are we brothers or something? We're much more than that. Genetically speaking. We're the same person. Genetically speaking? Whatever you're trying to tell me, stop beating around the bush, okay? All right then. You're my alter. I created you with the use of rapidium. Rapidium? Yeah, we did it. It's here. Wow. You hear that, Ben? Ben? What Ben? Huh? Oh, never mind. Hey, wait. What was that you said about creating me? Look, you've obviously still not recovered from the shock. Why don't you rest a little and read the mission logs? They'll put it in perspective. We can talk more when the meds wear off. The meds. Yeah, that explains a lot. Not everything, but I feel like there's something more to this feeling of being so light. weak, you know? Just relax and take it slow. You'll feel stronger in no time. Okay, yeah. Maybe. And hell, I can't wait to see her pity him. You will soon. I promise. Hello, Jan.
Hey, man. Want me to lend a hand with this?
Jan, there's an issue we need to discuss. Let's meet.
Looks like I'm done. Should I go there next?
How's work on the miner's new arm going? I came up with something. You could call it a serum. You can brew it in the kitchen, if you like. The arm should grow back within hours, but don't sue me if his mental problems aggravate. Aggravate? It's an experiment, isn't it? The outcome is always hard to predict. Don't say I didn't warn you.
Progress with Roland's autopsy.
Jan, there's an issue we need to discuss. Let's meet.
Keeping busy, I hope. How's the prosthetic arm going? The design is ready. I've uploaded the blueprint to the workshop. Get to work at once, and we'll have our miner back where we need him.
Ignore them, okay?
Jan, there's an issue we need to discuss. Let's meet. I'm done here. Should I do this now? You do know we're running out of radiation filters? All done. Should I take care of this now? All done. Should I take care of this now?
Hello. Hey, are you done with the postmortem? Did you find Molly's cause of death? Yes and no. Don't you just love science? I know the direct cause of death, and it wasn't food poisoning. No? No, it was a severe brain hemorrhage. What? Why? That's the tricky part. Her brain looked changed. Part of it was covered with a strange, transparent film, like mutated tissue of some sort. Any ideas where this tissue came from? I don't know, Jan. I'm not a neurosurgeon, and I'm certainly not a veterinarian. A basic autopsy on a human being is all I'm trained to do. I ran a sample through our standard lab tests, and it doesn't fit any known results. So all I can tell you is this isn't any condition I could put a name on. Maybe we should report this back to Earth. Have you heard from anyone since we stopped? No. Just as I feared. The gravity field might have jammed their signal. While we wait for them to reinstall it, let's collect more data. Such as? Well, we know it wasn't anything in the food or air conditioning that killed her. However, there could be other external factors at play. This planet, the Interal. Who knows if the proximity plane doesn't interact with our reality in some ways we don't yet understand? We have no idea about the microbiome here, bacteria, maybe even viruses. Viruses? What are you saying? We should all get tested, just to be on the safe side. So, the technician was right when he urged us to examine the sheep. And we were right to listen to him. Now let's follow through. Okay. How do you want to proceed? MRI scanning. A simple procedure that will give us the first crucial answer. Is anything affecting our brains too? All I need from you is a simple upgrade of our infirmary. Think you can handle that? Okay. I'll take care of it right away. Excellent. We'll start the checkups immediately after it's ready.
Hello? Yes. What a shitty day.
So, had enough time to come to terms with the situation? Honestly, I don't know. I'm all over the place at the moment. What's troubling you? It's funny, but, you know how just now I tried to lift a container and I couldn't? I'm starting to understand why I feel so bad in this body. It's just so weak. Maybe it's the side effects of cryosleep. Don't worry, you'll get back in shape in a jiffy. I need to put on at least 15 pounds. There's no time for that. We're in danger here. And operating the refinery takes stamina, believe me. Being strong seems to matter a lot to you.
A little extra confidence never hurt anyone. Not that it was ever my priority.
I just like the physical activity. They help clear my head of problems. Problems are gone here. It's a chance to wipe the slate clean. Maybe, but I still can't get my head around one thing. What's that? Like, if everything that happened to me isn't true, then does that apply to the people I knew too? I mean, do they exist, but in some different version as well? I have no idea. This quantum mess-up is really confusing for me as well.
Yeah, but theoretically, it's not impossible for someone who, for example, would be dead in my mind to actually still be alive?
Theoretically? Totally. Theoretically, everything's possible.
That's overwhelming. Shit, I think I need to get my mind on something else.
Why don't you have some fun? Integrate with the living. You deserve it.
You think?
Sure. Let me know if there's anything more you need.
What if we don't make it in time to escape the sun?
Then we'll die. I have something for you.
If it's painkillers, I don't need them anymore. I'm fine.
No. I've decided to grow you a new arm.
What?
Yeah. Sounds crazy, but here it is. A special Dolski brew made only with freshly mined rupidium.
You're fucking with me.
Why would I? I want you to be happy.
Okay, you are fucking with me. Grow back my chopped off arm? Yeah, that's a good one, man.
No, not grow it back. It'll be a new one this time. Your own arm.
Oh, wow.
It'll be part of you, and I'm hoping it won't cause you pain anymore.
Shit, man. This is, I don't know what to say. I mean, it's confusing as fuck, but you're really getting me used to that. Okay, yeah. What the hell? I guess if you want to experiment on me. Why not? That would be a really shitty way to go.
That's why we should stop wasting time on catastrophic visions and focus on getting out of here. Hey, I found this. I brought it on this mission, but thought that maybe it could mean something to you too.
No way! On my old skipping rope. So you did want to get back in shape.
Yeah. I thought that I'd be bored enough here to train regularly.
If I remember correctly, buying it was my first attempt at working out. Did I fail? Yes. But it was a start. Thanks, man.
So, what do you think?
Well, this stuff actually tastes like food. I'm glad you took our little talk seriously.
Good. Let's put this whole thing behind us and focus on what's ahead.
Whoa. This anomaly. I haven't seen them behave like this.
you check if we still got some storage space?
Molly's grave. I couldn't have chosen a better place for her myself. Rest in peace, brave little sheep.
Hey there. You wanted to talk about something?
Yeah. I've been thinking about the branching thing. It's so confusing. Tell me about it. I mean, remember how I told you about my body? The one I know versus this one? Well, I don't get it. Why is it exactly that we're created with different minds, like, different beverages or snacks, but then we all end up in the same packaging? It doesn't make much sense. Well, it's not the packaging that matters most. It's the content. That's what they say. But you don't brew ale only to pour it into plastic bottles. My skills, my whole personality derives from a certain lifestyle, and that makes my mind and body inseparable. That's how it feels to me. Huh. I never looked at it that way. I know, and honestly, I find it a little hard to understand. I mean, how can you be so careless about your body? It's the only one you'll ever have, man. Why'd you let it become so neglected? I guess I just had more important things to do. Studying, settling down, buying a house. Funny. Now that I look at it, you probably didn't have my motivation. Which was? Well, for me, it all started when I moved abroad. After Mom died, I decided to stay there, and for a while it was pretty lonely out there. Didn't you have friends? Not at first, no. You can laugh, but I was a little apprehensive to jump into a new environment. It was just work and sleep, and some bad eating habits. So that's when you started working out. Out of boredom at first. Then, it kind of became a fun thing. I made friends, started going out a lot, but by that time, the gym had become an important part of my routine. I drank less, slept better, and it just made me feel in control of my life, I get you. Now that you told me the whole story. Thanks. Maybe if I could get back to my routine here, at least in some way, it could really help me shake off all this anxiety. I'd probably sleep better, feel more like me. Do you think there's a chance you could help me get my hands on some exercise equipment here? I could try. Really? Thanks, bro. I knew I could confide in you.